Hey everyone, how's it going? Shuffle's back here with another video, and we got another of the best series up tonight. One of the units that is brand new to the game, and one of the units that I get asked about most often, is my thoughts on Straze. And now that we're done the tier list, I can focus more on these videos. So we're gonna go over first. We're gonna go over the way I have mine geared. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of alternative builds as well. I'm gonna try and explain where I think he's good, as well as I have probably one of the craziest highlights you've ever seen from RTA. That'll be at the very end of the video. One of the most ridiculous attacks, and well, I don't want to spoil it, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you let me know what you think of that fight at the end of the video down in the comment section, and let's just jump over into my Strays and his gear. All right, so here's my Strays. He's on speed immunity. You can see he has no imprints, so I am missing out on 18% attack. But if we open up his stats here, there's his stats. He is at 4,538 attack, and not very tanky at all, with 231 speed, 99 crit, 240 crit damage. We'll do a quick run through his gear here. Speed, crit rate, crit damage with really high attack. You can see it. This is actually a Hell Raid piece that I gemmed. I gemmed the crit damage onto. Then really nice speed immunity helmet here. So 15 speed, crit rate, crit damage, attack. Gemmed the attack onto there. Same sort of idea here. Speed, crit rate, crit damage with defense. The defense was random, but I needed the crit damage, so we gemmed the crit damage onto that one. Then attack percent neck. I know most people are running crit damage or something. Some people are running crit damage. Some are running tanky. If you're running him on a tanky build, I went with attack, but we're gonna go over that in a minute. Then of course attack neck, speed, crit rate, crit damage, defense again, and speed boots, crit rate, crit damage, attack, and flat attack. And then for the artifact choice, I went with creation and destruction, mostly because I could go portrait, but he never doesn't kill something, so he's already doing his job. He doesn't really need any bonus damage. Scythe really isn't good on him unless you're running him like Bruiser and he's taking more than one turn. But if this pops off, then he can be absolutely ridiculous because then he can go and do his skill 3 every single turn. Taking a quick look at his skills, the thing that makes him good is his skill 3. He does have invincibility when he moves, but the main part of it is it's an AoE attack. The unit with the highest max HP Straze ignores their defense and starts at 30%, all the way up to 100% ignore defense before he puts up his invincibility. So what you really want to do is you want to ignore defense with this at 100% rate. If you don't get that 100% ignore defense, he's probably not going to kill. And also, if you don't have attack buff, he's probably not going to kill. So if you want to know how much defense you're going to ignore, I have mine at 4,500 attack. Basically, the calculation is for every 1,000 attack more than your enemy, you're going to ignore another 30%. So 333 per 10%. So if you're going up against a 2k attack unit, you're going to need 4,333 attack in order to ignore defense. Now, obviously, if you have 4k attack and you have attack buff, then that's more than enough. You're good to go. If most units, though, like if we take a quick look at, say, my Fire Cecilia, two of the units I use a lot, Fire Cecilia and Alencia. So Fire Cecilia, only 1,500 attack. Alencia, 1,700 attack. So you're hovering in that like 4k attack range. You don't necessarily need to ignore, like, he would kill her, even though, say you have a 4k attack Straze. You're not quite at the threshold. You might only ignore 90%, but realistically, that's still going to kill, especially at only 21k HP. The real question is, are you going to kill Crows and are you going to kill FCCs? So if we move over to my FCC, Usually she's in that like 16, 17, 1800 attack range. Mine happens to be a little bit higher attack just because she's got some attack substats. Um, but things like this can happen, especially at higher levels. People are going to put some more attack on these units. So in order to kill her, I would need 4300 attack in order to get the job done. And if, say, somehow I don't get attack buff, then I could be in trouble. Especially if they do get attack buff, then she would even have even more attack. So moving back to Straze, that's why I have him on an attack neck, is just to make sure that his attack is really high. Um, it did start out, my first build was about 4400 attack with like 210 crit damage, and it worked fine. I've just been slowly refining his gear. As for his speed, he is speed tuned to go after my operator cigarette. So that's the way he's geared the way he is. I did have him at 100 crit, but I was able to get like 30 more crit damage and 100 more attack in exchange for that one crit rate. So, yeah, I might miss the occasional crit, but it hasn't been an issue yet. And maybe at some point I'll find a piece of gear that'll fix that. But in the meantime, I'm more than happy with this build. He always gets the kills when I need him to. He cycles really well because he's fast. You don't really need anything else. He's pretty much perfect. So I'm very, very happy with this. I do want to show you guys a couple of alternative builds just in case before we get into the clip. Again, that clip is ridiculous. The whole reason I'm recording this video this moment is because I don't want to lose that clip because it was on stream today. So let's take a look at the first image here. All right, so here's the first Straze. This Straze belongs to Mace. I'm sure many of you know him, very popular in the community. He basically decided to build his also speed immunity, but he wanted his tankier to use in more of like a bruiser-ish type comp. So you can see he has 1400 defense, 15k HP with 4k attack, 245 crit damage, and like 50 speed slower. So also he is on Scythe because of the fact that he's running Bruiser. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Bruiser build, but he's got incredible gear on this Straze. You can see he's probably got an HP piece in there somewhere. He must either boots or ring in order to make this work. And then a lot of his extra substats, instead of going into attack, went into the support there. That's where the 50 speed basically went into. Took the 50 speed and put it into tanky substats, 50 speed and 500 attack, and put it into HP and defense. So just another option for you if you're curious. I'm not sure if his is skilled up yet. I would assume it is because of how good the gear is on this. I do have one more for you. Another tanky build, but slightly different. Just find the. I hate jumping between pictures in the middle of recording a video, but oh boy. And that's why I don't like doing it, because the sizes are always different, and you can't prep them in advance. Alright. Oh boy. Now that moved. God damn it. Alright, let's try that again. There you go. Let's make that a little bit bigger. So still immunity, but this one is lifesteal immunity. Lifesteal immunity with Hellcutter. So very unique build. Um, this one's courtesy of Iconic. 4k attack, 260 crit damage, so kind of in the same range as the Mace build we just saw, except he's only got 83 crit rate, and he's slower, obviously, because he doesn't have speed set, he's got lifesteal. But then to make up for the missing stats, he used Hellcutter. So I'm not a big fan of Hellcutter to begin with, but in this situation, it's actually quite interesting because he's slow. If he's able to keep his strays alive, he's getting Hellcutter stacks, which is going to bring that attack up well over 4k, and then he should be able to one-shot even without the without attack buff, which is interesting. Whereas somebody's like the last build we saw for Mace, much more reliable. You can use it on turn 1 and you're going to get the kill every single time. But you're not going to have that life steal, and just a very different decision in terms of build. Instead of going with the scythe to heal, he's going with the lifesteal to heal, and then the hell cutter in the hopes that he can get stacks and keep him alive. It's more of a project, keep strays alive type comp. And I fought against it. It's very strong. So another idea if you are looking as to how you're going to build one, this one is plus 15 for sure. But yeah, another interesting build. All right, let's jump over into this clip. I am going to comment over top of the volume, of course, because it is a Twitch clip and there's music behind it. But there's one more look at mine. Let's see if we can figure out how to open this. Nope, not that. There we go. Perfect. All right. So I first pick FCC enemy here. You can see from Asia server. It's still early in the preseason, so we're in Master. Both top 100 at this point, I believe. I think he was top 100 at this point. We'll be able to see at the end of the fight. But he counters with Carrot. See, Purchase and Made both pre-banned. Weird that he pre-banned Made and then went in with the haste there. Interesting decision. It kind of makes me think he's going to pick Arby at this point. I decided to go with like a weird. We were playing around trying to cleave with FCC in that first slot, even though she's not on a damage build. So I went with the Sigret, knowing that I was going to have to proc the Carrot Shield, hopefully kill the Carrot, push everybody back, and then kill somebody with the Straze since he'll have attack buff. He decides to counter with the LQC and Elena. If you watch the tier list, I actually moved Elena up quite a bit because she is seeing a lot of play and no difference in this fight. So at this point, I know I need something to proc that Carrot Shield so I can kill something with Sigret, or at least that's my game plan. So I decided to go with her for the attack buff, knowing that it's quite possible that she's going to get banned. Even though there's no revives there, she's just there for the attack buff and the speed buff. I probably could have gone Oxlots there, but I don't know. I was in a rhythm of using her from previous fights, so I just decided to take her anyway. And I'm pretty sure I'm faster than him, all 4 of his units at this point, so I'm not overly worried about speed tuning. And then I decided to go Lulu. Going Lulu just to proc that shield again. And then even if he bans Lulu, we can always S1 into the shield. He last picks the Sage Ball, and we auto-ban that because we do want to go first. And at this point, I'm pretty confident. I'm like, all right, we're just going to proc the shield. We're going to kill with Sigret. Then we're going to kill somebody else with Straze, and we should be good to go. He goes ahead and bans the Lulu. So at this point, I know I can't buff up. Or if I do, I'm not going to be able to kill the Carrot. So we get first turn. I go into the Carrot. We open up by hitting the shield. Then Sigret into the Carrot, kill the Carrot right away. We didn't need the attack buff there, which is kind of nice. Now we could S3, but we know if we do that, we're going to proc the Elena. And we really don't want to proc the Elena. So we're just going to S1, no attack buff. We're going to use our S3 here from Straze without attack buff. Unfortunately for us, because we didn't have attack buff, that haste lived. We do have invincibility, but because the LQC is coming up next, he decides not to use the Elena. And now he can burn his LQC, who has Hellcutter. And it looks like we're in pretty bad shape here. But he went for her and didn't quite get the kill. He does get the team up on the next attack to get the kill of the Singelica. And now his haste can come in to heal. And it looks like we're in a pretty rough spot here. Because he was just able to kill our Singelica, who was going to team up for damage, and our other damage dealer in the Sigrid as well. We miss our provoke there. Luckily for us, this is where things get crazy. We proc Creation and Destruction. So Creation Destruction procs, we get to use his skill 3 again. This time knowing that that haste is going to die, we take the kill, and we put up invincibility again. So twice in a row, we get the invincibility. He still can't kill us, so he has to go ahead and S1 the Cecilia. I don't really want to proc any more CR on that Elena than we already have. And we have invincibility anyway, so we don't need anything else. So we go ahead, S1. Back to him again, and Creation Destruction procs again. So we get to do our S3 for a third time in a row. This time Elena is the highest max HP, so it kills the Elena. He gets invincibility again for the third time. Again, Hellcutter LQC is going to have a hard time healing because she needs her skill 3 in order to heal, so she's going to use it here. Despite the fact that she has to use it on FCC and can't kill haste, because she doesn't have attack buff, that's not going to kill anybody. So now the Ellen is gone, we can put up skill prevent. That way we have invincibility and skill prevent. But we come back around and we proc Creation Destruction again for the fourth time now, or I guess third time. And we get to use our skill 3 for the fourth time in a row. Unfortunately, obviously going to be a really high attack LQC because she's on Hellcutter and we've taken a million turns. So we're not going to ignore defense on her. Well, we only ignore 30%. So we don't one-shot her with that, and we don't proc Creation Destruction the final time, so we have to kill with S1 instead of S3. But we had invincibility for the eternity of the fight. Until the very last unit died, we had invincibility the entire time. We used skill 3 4 times in a row. That doesn't happen very often. It's only 20% chance to proc, so happening once is a blessing. Getting that ridiculously lucky is just insane and probably never going to happen again. But when it happens, it is a hell of a lot of fun and is super, super busted. Kind of too bad we were up against a Hellcutter unit there. Otherwise, we could have one-shot all 4 of them with him, which would have been a lot of fun. But again, here's the stats that I was using in the video. Kind of ridiculous that happened. I wanted to show it in a video just because I thought you guys would enjoy it. But if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let me know what you guys want to see another of this series on. If there's any units out there that you want the best video on, let me know, and we'll try and make that happen. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great day, and we will see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.